Hello and welcome to my assignment on analysis of performance. Glacier 2010 presented a model that showed notational analysis, biomechanics, and motor control, and how all of these attributes contribute to performance analysis. Notational analysis is analyzing skills produced by the athlete. Motor control is the process of initiating, directing, and grading movement. And biomechanics is studying the mechanical parameters of human motion. All of these together make up performance analysis. What is performance analysis? And why do we use it? It establishes a baseline results and identifies strengths and weaknesses. It allows the coach to give feedback to the athletes. It evaluates objectivity and effectiveness of intervention and practice. The reliability validity measures of the performance analysis data. The coach used NACSport on test data, then worked out a kappa score to see how accurate their observations were. They did this multiple times until their kappa score was good enough and presented an accurate score so they could do their actual results on their chosen data. They did this 3 times before receiving an accurate kappa score. Manley and Williams in 2014, however, produced a journal on the downsides to performance analysis and why a coach might not want to use it in their coaching style. They deduced that it could be overwhelming, or the data needed to get answers to the problems. It's dangerous if used wrong. It could actually see a decline in performance rather than a peak or an increase. And it's a toxic environment. Some players have been known to say that the coaches just see them as numbers on a screen. Not coaching is different. It's not just all about numbers. The player is individual. They're not just numbers on a sheet. So, like I said previously, the coach did this 3 times before they got an accurate kappa score. Thus, getting the reliability, validity measures accurate for their actual investigation. This is the kappa equation that he used. So this presentation is going to focus on basketball, and specifically a full junior basketball team made up of 5 players. To focus on basketball and how using performance analysis will improve a junior team to shoot effectively. So the coach is going to be analysing how effective a junior team is at shooting. The aim of this study / research is how can performance analysis detect the problem and help provide data to the coach that shows how to improve. So the coach is going to receive data, be able to understand that data, and then put it in a more coaching technique to deliver the data back to the athletes and help them improve. Dynamical systems theory is a constraints-led approach. A perturbation is an incident that changes the rhythmic flow of attacking and defending, which are also known as the steady states, and creates a disruption in the defense. So in basketball, a perturbation might be an interception by the other team, or then blocking a shot that is taken and then the opposition attacking. A stable state or dynamic equilibrium is where there are no interruptions. Re-establishment is a moment of a game when a perturbed system is restored due to the attacking of play or good defense. So if the opposition are attacking and the team that we're being focused on get the ball back, then this is re-establishment to the stable state. A critical incident, however, is a moment after a perturbation when the attack is finished. My KPIs are what I'm looking for that are important to my research. I first figured out my KPIs and put them into a buttons template on Knack Sport. I checked it on the test data before I moved on to my actual data and made alterations due to a low kappa score. Here are my KPIs. As you can see, I've got 6 KPIs. Here's my fully working buttons template after the test data, where I removed some buttons that were ineffective. So from the data collected by performance analysis and using Knack Sport and the buttons template, it was found that 275 shots were recorded over the data. Now this is a lot of shots in comparison to an NBA team who put up 94 shots, like the average of a 94 to 82 shots in a game. And this data was collected from 2 games. So if we actually double the NBA average, we get either 188 to 164. So we can see that the junior team are putting up a lot more shots than a professional basketball team. The type of shots taken were layups and 2-point shots. They were our main shots taken, with 144 shots being taken were 2-point shots, 109 shots taken were layups, and only 22 shots were 3-point shots. Now here we can see that there's a big difference in how successful our shots are to how unsuccessful our shots are. So we can see that 77 shots out of the 275 were unsuccessful, thus meaning 197 were unsuccessful. So that gives us a percentage of 39.09%. So for every shot taken, they would have a roughly about 40% chance of scoring. This is much lower than Steph Curry, who has a 50% chance. Who has a 50% chance of scoring. However, a positive from this data collection shows that when the pressure from the defense was low, they took a lot more shots that were successful compared to when the pressure was high and the pressure was medium. So they're picking the right shots because they're shooting when they understand that the defense is low, which is a great thing for the coach to learn. It means they know that the shots they're taking aren't wrong, it's just how they are taking them. However, this is also the case with unsuccessful shots. So they are picking the right shots, but the execution isn't there. As we can see that the pressure from defense is low, and that's where they're taking the most shots, but they're unsuccessful. To summarize, the team missed a lot of their shots and had many disruptions to the dynamic equilibrium of the game, taking 275 shots in between 2 games. So there was 275 shots that were recorded. 144 of them were 2 points. 22 of them were 3-point shots, meaning that 144 and the 109 layups and 2-point shots are what the junior team have a preference in rather than the 3-point shots. So this is where most of the scoring opportunity is going to come from. However, 197 of those shots were unsuccessful. and only 77 were successful. A coach's intervention. So the right shots, they're taking the right shots, however their execution is wrong due to they're putting up a lot of shots but they're not making the percentage of the chance of them scoring is low. It's under 50%. Gorman explores 3 steps of skill acquisition in basketball. These 3 stages are coordination. So when we're first attempting to execute basketball skills, for example, we're exploring a range of different methods to achieve an outcome. The next step is control, where we have found underlying move techniques and are now adjusting moves for specific environments. And finally, the last stage is skill, where we have got to an efficient, highly consistent, and extremely adaptable skill acquisition. And right now, the team seems to be at trying to get into the skill stage. So they're at the control stage. So they're able to adjust the speed and force of passes. You know, the varying the shots that they're taking. However, the shots aren't consistent. The shots aren't consistent, and due to how many shots they're taking, and they're not always successful. So activities for improvement that the coach can give off to the that the coach can give back to the athletes on their performance. So it's clear that the shots they're taking aren't successful. He needs to focus on that. They're taking the amount of shots is great. You know, it's a high number, but we need to be more. We need to be able to score more. The shots are right. They're taking them from when the pressure's low, and the 3-point shot is quite hard in basketball at this age, this sort of league. So the fact that they're taking more 2-point shots and layups is great, but they really need to focus in on getting that consistency when scoring from the shots that they take. So some data found in 2008 show that a coach should help their participants locate the rim earlier, hold follow through, and don't overthink their shot when they are practicing shooting. They should focus on one-hand form shooting, then a guide hand, and shooting off the pass. Thinking back to the aim of this study, how can performance analysis detect a problem and help provide data to the coach that shows how to improve? Well, to begin with, the data has been first there was test data where the coach checked out their observation techniques, their reliability and validity to make sure it was accurate. They did this 3 times to make sure they were accurate. They then moved on to their actual data that they wanted to analyze. They analyzed this data through NACSport and produced graphs to show how each to show why they weren't scoring or what variables and perturbations happened to why they weren't scoring. And then finally, they have found out why and how they can translate this over to the athlete through intervention and coaching to help them improve, such as basketball-related shooting drills to get more accurate. Here's my reference list. Thank you for watching.